Hey guys, welcome back to Earth to Us. I think we have a little bit better of a setup today. There shouldn't be as bad of an echo as there was yesterday. We've definitely got better lighting, so thanks guys for just bearing with me while I figure out this filming setup, because this is definitely something that's new to me, filming these classes. So today's flow is going to be quicker paced. We're going to actually use some weights if you desire. I've got some little medicine balls here. You can actually use soup cans, weights, really anything that you have laying around the house, or they're just completely optional. You don't have to use them at all. So really whatever you prefer, but we're going to do a little more power yoga with a little bit of HIIT work in the yoga flow. So it's going to be super fun, nothing crazy, so don't turn off the video just yet, but we're going to have some fun. So this is a good morning flow, like when you get up, have your cup of coffee, do your devotional, and then just need to get some movement in. This is a great option. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and get our timer started, and we're going to start standing. So just go ahead and get standing on your mat. We're going to open up those toes, pressing all four corners of the feet here. Find that mountain pose like we did in the previous video. So pressing all four corners of the feet into the mat, the feet, the ankles, the knees, the hips are in alignment, the shoulders are stacked over the knees. We're not tucking those hips under, we're not flexing those hips back, but just getting that neutral hip, that neutral spine. We're going to inhale as those hands go up. We're going to interlace those fingers. That pointer finger goes up towards the ceiling, stretching through the ribs here, stretching through the whole body. Finding that breath. We're going to twist to the right. So just moving that upper torso, the hips stay facing forward. We're going to twist to the left. Coming back center, we're going to bend to the right. And bend to the left. One more time, we bend to the right. And we bend to the left. Coming back upright, we twist to the right. We twist to the left. Coming back to center, we bend to the right. That spine is straight as we're moving. We're not sinking forward or backwards. We bend to the left. Coming back upright, we twist to the right. We twist to the left. Now coming back center, we push that finger up towards the ceiling. We gaze upward, stretching through the front of the chest. We take that deep inhale. And then we exhale as we melt forward. We come to that forward fold. Now we reach down behind those legs, drawing that chest down to the knees as much as we can. If you need to bend those knees, feel free to do so. But just taking that deep breath here. We're going to take that right hand to that left elbow, left hand to your right elbow. We're going to start that sway. Just waking up the muscles here, waking up the spine, waking up that abdominal wall. Finding that gentle movement. Just a few sways here. Now taking those hands back down, we're going to start that pedal. So we're going to bend one knee while we straighten the other. Now this pedal can go as fast or as slow as you desire, but just bend one leg while straightening the other. So just finding that gentle movement, bending and stretching those legs. This whole practice today is going to be based around movement, finding lots of movement. Being free to move as we desire. Bending those knees. Right, then left. Now we're going to straighten that right leg, bending that left knee here. I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see what's going on. So we're going to straighten that right leg, bending that left knee, pushing that weight into that outer seat. We're going to take that left hand to that left knee. That right arm is going to sweep up towards the ceiling. So we're pushing into that right heel here. Stretching into that IT band, stretching into that glute muscle and that outer seat, opening through the chest. Now taking right forearm to right knee, we bend that right knee, straightening that left hand moves up. Pushing into that left outer seat now. Now left forearm to left knee, bending that left knee, straightening that right. We're just changing that back to where we began. Right hand goes up. Right elbow to right knee, changing those legs again. Left hand goes up, finding that twist. Left hand comes down, and we're just gonna keep that pedal going. Finding that pedal, finding that movement. Whatever feels good for you, whatever serves your body here. Just finding that gentle movement. Now finding that stillness, we're going to open up those legs. So those legs are going to come much wider than those hips. Walking those legs out, we're going to take those toes, we're going to angle them out, drawing those heels in. So those toes are angled out as those heels come into midline. We're going to inhale as those arms go up. We're going to exhale as we forward fold here. Now we want to get those hands down to the mat. So open up those legs just a little bit wider if you need to get those hands down to the mat. Finding that static stretch here for just a moment. Waking up the hamstrings. Dropping the head, loosening the neck here. If you want to find a little movement, feel free to do so. Now here's where we're going to go ahead and we're going to reach for those weights. Now we're going to bring those weights back by those feet. We're going to bend at the knees here. We're going to walk those heels in just a little bit more if we need to. We're going to set that seat back. We're going to inhale as we rise up with those weights. Those knees are bent here. So we're in that wide squat here. Those knees are pressing backwards. So we want those legs opening up, those knees pressing outward. We're going to take those weights into our hand. We're going to inhale as they press up towards the ceiling. Exhale as we drop into goddess. Inhale as we rise. Exhale into goddess. Inhale as we rise. Exhale into goddess. Now those shoulders and those hips are square here. We're bending at the elbows. We're bending with the knees. So we inhale as we press up. We exhale deep into that goddess. We inhale as we rise. We exhale into that goddess. We inhale as we rise. We exhale into goddess. We inhale. And we exhale. We inhale. And we exhale. Now we're opening from that chest here. So that chest is really wide. Those hips are really wide here. We're going to take that right hand, pressing it up. Up. Keep going. Come on. Just a few more. Pressing that right hand up. Last one on that right side. Now that left hand presses up. The left side. Just a few more on that left side. Last one on that left side. Now we're going to take those hands, we're going to drop those weights down to the floor. Rising back up slowly, we take that right forearm to that right knee, that left arm sweeps up and over. We are in that squat still. Left forearm to left knee, right arm sweeps up and over. Right forearm to right knee, left arm sweeps up and over. Left forearm to left knee, right arm sweeps up and over. Now bringing those hands back down to those knees. We're going to take those knees, gently pressing them over, and that left shoulder drops forward. And then that right shoulder drops forward. That left shoulder drops forward. And then that right shoulder drops forward. Now bringing both of those shoulders back squared with those hips, we're going to straighten those legs. And then heel toe, bringing those legs back in. Bringing those legs back in, we're going to step to the top of our mat here. We're going to take these weights, placing them at the top of the mat as well. Bringing those toes to the top of the mat. We're going to inhale as those hands go up. We're going to exhale as we forward fold, taking those hands out to the mat. We're going to find that downward facing dog. So So pressing those heels back, pressing away from the hands, the tailbone shoots up towards the ceiling. That abdominal wall is in tight here. We're going to start that pedal here. So finding that pedal again, we bend and straighten those knees. Maybe you find that hip rotation here as you drop those hips to the side. Whatever feels good for you. But find that movement. This whole practice today is about movement. So find that movement. Find that bend, find that stretch. Now we're going to roll forward into plank. We're going to open those knees up. We're going to drop them to the mat. We're going to set that sink back as we come into child's pose. Dropping the head down to the mat. Finding that deep breath here. Child's pose is always our home. It is our safe place. If we ever begin to get frustrated with the moves, we lose control of our breath, we drop down into that child's pose. We can always go to that child's pose when we need to. We regain our composure and then we move forward. So just dropping into that child's pose, taking a few deep breaths here. Slowing it down here, stretching through that chest. And then taking that deep inhale through the nose, we roll up onto those hands and knees. We curl those toes. We find that downward facing dog. Pressing those heels into the mat, relaxing the shoulders, pressing away from the hands. The tailbone presses up towards the ceiling here. Now we're going to take that right foot. We're going to take that right knee here, lifting that right foot, and then bringing that right knee over to that left elbow, to that right elbow, and then lifting it back up. So making that circle we go left, right, lift, left, right, lift, left, right, lift, left, right, lift. One more time, we go left, we go right, we lift. We bring that right foot forward, we step in between those hands. We find that posture here, we reach down for those weights. Those weights are in the hands. We inhale as we rise up to that high crescent lunge. That deep inhale. We exhale as we kick those arms back. We inhale as we press up. We exhale as we kick those arms back. We inhale, we press up. We exhale, we kick those arms back. We inhale one more time, we press up. We exhale, we kick those arms back. Now we take those weights down to the mat, we drop those hands, we step that right leg back into downward facing dog. Now maybe with that left foot and that left knee, we come to that right elbow, extending that leg. Right elbow, left elbow, extending that leg. Right, left, extend. Right, left, extend. One more time. Right, left, extend. Bringing that left leg forward. Reaching down for those weights. We inhale. We rise up into that high crescent lunge. We exhale, we kick those arms back. We inhale, we press up. We exhale, we kick the arms back. We inhale, we press up. We exhale, we kick the arms back. One more inhale, we press up. One more exhale, we kick back. We release those weights, we drop the hands, we step the left leg back into downward facing dog. We start that pedal. Finding that movement here. Then we step right foot in front of left, left foot in front of right, till we come back into that forward fold. Coming back into that forward fold, reaching down for those ankles. And then we reach down for those weights, rolling up very slowly. We're going to come back to that wide-legged stance. Dropping those weights in front of us, those legs are much wider than those hips once again. So we inhale as those hands go up. We exhale as we forward fold. Drawing those heels in, pressing those toes out. We find our way, bringing those hands down to the mat. Finding that deep breath here. Those hands press into the mat. Those heels press into the mat. Now we're going to take that left hand, centering it up with the mat. That right hand shoots up towards the ceiling. We find that twist. Stretching out that chest. Left hand comes down, right hand comes down to the mat, left hand lifts. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches up. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches up. One more time, left hand comes down, right hand reaches up. Fingertips towards the ceiling. The spine is straight. We're not collapsing forward or lifting too high. Right hand comes down, left hand lifts. Finding that twist, stretching through the chest. Taking that left hand down. Now this is where we're really going to find our movement here. So those hands are pressed into the mat. We're going to bend through those knees here, bending both of those knees. And we're going to start that rock. So we bend that right knee, straightening that left. Bending the left, straightening the right. We're just going to find that movement here. Move at your own pace. This is your practice here. Do what serves your body. What feels good to you here. Maybe it's low and slow, maybe it's a little higher. And you just bend and stretch as you rock back and forth. Whatever feels good to you here. Find that rock, find that sway. Find that bend, find that stretch. Being very gentle with our body. Find that movement here as we rock back and forth. Whatever feels good for you, whatever serves you. Now finding those straight legs, we're going to heel toe as we bring those legs all the way back in, back up into that standing position. We slowly rise up. And then we're going to take those feet, stepping them back to the top of the mat. We're going to take those weights with us, placing them at the top of the mat here. We're going to inhale as those hands go up. We're going to interlace those fingers. Once again, those pointer fingers shoot straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to bend to the right. We're going to bend to the left. We're going to come upright. We're going to twist to the right. We're going to twist to the left. Coming back center, we exhale as we forward fold, taking those hands down to the mat. We step backwards into downward facing dog, pressing the heels down, twisting away from the hands. We roll forward into plank. And then back into down dog, leading with that tailbone. That navel is tight. We roll forward into plank. We press back into down dog. We roll forward into plank. Abdominal wall is very tight here. We lead with that tailbone. We roll back and forth between that plank and that down dog. Finding that good and gentle movement here. Whatever serves our body. Taking our own time as we switch between that down dog and that plank. Now we finally roll forward into this plank. We drop those knees below us. Those hands come back under those shoulders. Those knees are under those hips here. We inhale as that tailbone shoots up to the sky. The navel drops to the mat. We come into cow. Exhale as we tuck those hips under navel to spine. We roll into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale, rolling into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. One more inhale into that cow. One more exhale, rolling into that cat. Now come into that neutral spine here, finding that good neutral position. We're going to take that left leg back with a pointed toe. We're going to bring that right hand forward. Now that weight, once again, is optional here if you want to take that weight into the right hand, but extending that hand long. We're going to inhale as we pulse up. 1, 2, exhale as we crunch elbow to knee. Inhale, we pulse up. 1, 2, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, we stretch out long, we pulse up, 1, 2. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, we stretch out long, we pulse up, 1, 2. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time, we inhale as we stretch out long. We pulse up, 1, 2. We exhale, elbow to knee. We drop that hand in that knee. That right leg goes back with the pointed toe here, that left hand follows. We find that balance, we find that stability here. We inhale, we pulse up, 1, 2. Exhale, elbow to knee. We inhale as we stretch out long, we pulse, 1, 2. We exhale, elbow to knee. We inhale, we stretch out, we pulse, 1, 2. We exhale, elbow to knee. We inhale, we stretch out long. We pulse, 1, 2. We exhale, elbow to knee. One final time, we inhale, we stretch out long. We pulse, 1, 2. We exhale, elbow to knee, rounding through that spine. We drop the hand, we drop the knee. We open up the knees wide. We're gonna stack those fists. Left fist and then right. Resting the head on the fist as we sink back into that child's pose. We're gonna take a few breaths here. Slowing it down, regaining that composure, regaining that breath. Just slowing it down. Breathing in and out of the nose. That steady breath, keeping that steady breath this whole practice today. Making sure we're never holding our breath between those pulses or between those motions. We never hold our breath when we hold a pose. That breath moves us. We're constantly breathing. So just taking a few more breaths here. Breathing in and out of the nose. Just slowing it down. Allowing yourself to have that rest. Now we're going to inhale, so we come back up onto those hands and knees. Finding that good neutral spine. We're going to curl those toes. We're going to find that downward facing dog. Now we're going to find that motion that we found earlier. So we're going to take that right leg, lifting that right leg, pointing that right toe. We come left elbow, right elbow, extend it long. Left, right, extension. Left, right, extension. Left, right, extension. One more time. We go left, we go right. We extend, we press that foot long, high up towards the ceiling. We bring that foot forward. In between those hands now, we're gonna reach down for those hand weights. We inhale as we slowly rise up into that high crescent lunge. We exhale as we press those hands back. We inhale as they rise into a shoulder press. We exhale as they go back into that tricep kick. We inhale as they press up. We exhale as they press back. One more inhale, they press up. One more exhale, they press back. We release those weights down. We step back into that downward facing dog, pressing the heels down, pressing away from the hands. Now moving through that left leg, lifting that left leg. Left knee to right elbow, step it back. Right leg, extend. Right leg, extend. Right, left, extend. Right, left, extend, pressing all the energy out of the foot, bringing the foot towards the hands, reaching down for those hand weights. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, tricep kick. Inhale, shoulder press. Exhale, tricep kick. Inhale, shoulder press. Exhale, tricep kick. Inhale, shoulder press. One more time, we tricep kick. We drop those hands down to the mat. We step that left leg back. We're just coming into plank. Coming into that plank. We drop forward, we open up the knees, we find a child's pose. Walking those hands out long, we draw the biceps into the ears. Now we're going to take that left hand, palm up, dropping that elbow, the shoulder, the back of the hand. We're just going to thread that needle through. Stretching out those shoulders. Stretching stretching through that back. Finding that deep breath. Release that left arm. Taking that right hand, dropping to that elbow, that shoulder to the back of the hand touches the mat. Those left fingertips walk out long. Now releasing that right hand back to the mat, we're going to draw those biceps up into those ears. One more time, we walk those fingertips out long. We inhale as we come up onto those hands and those knees. We stack the hands under the shoulders, the knees come under the hips. We inhale as that tailbone shoots up to the sky, the navel drops to the mat. We gaze upwards into cow. We exhale, rolling into that cat, tucking the hips, navel to spine, dropping the head into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat, rolling those hips under tightly, pressing the hands into the mat. Coming back into that cow. And then rolling into that cat. Really pressing that spine up towards the ceiling, activating those hands, pressing them deep into the mat. We're going to come back to that neutral spine. We're going to curl those toes. We're going to find that downward facing dog. Pressing the heels down, pressing away from the fingertips. We roll forward into the plank. We chaturanga into up dog. We tighten that abdominal wall, big move. We push back into down dog. We roll forward into plank. We chaturanga up dog. We find that down dog. We roll forward into plank. We chaturanga up dog. We curl the toes, we find the down dog again, tightening that abdominal wall. We roll forward into plank. We chaturanga up dog. We find that down dog, pressing through the toes, away from the fingers. We find that breath. And we're going to take that right leg, lifting it up high. We're going to bend at that knee. We're going to open into that three-legged dog. And then we're going to bring that right shin all the way forward to the top of the mat. Squaring it off at the top of the mat, we find pigeon. We extend that left leg back long. Those hips are squared. We're not rocking to the right. We're not rocking to the left. The hips are squared. We find that breath here. We inhale, we exhale. We're almost done, ladies. Just getting those good stretches here. We deepen that breath. Taking just a few deep breaths here in this pigeon. That posture is upright. Now taking that deep inhale through the nose. We curl that left toe. We're going to step that right leg back into downward facing dog. And then open up that left hip, coming into three-legged dog. We lift that left leg. And then we bring that left shin all the way forward. Finding that pigeon. Finding that neutral position. The back is straight. Or excuse me, the hips are straight. They are in alignment. That back leg is straight, the top of the foot rests on the mat. We just breathe here, wiping the sweat from our face from that great workout. Practicing without air conditioning has been new for me. So the workout's been a little more intense than I'm used to. I'm used to that nice air conditioned room, that air conditioned studio. Feeling really grateful for it right now. We're going to take that deep inhale. We're going to curl that right toe. We're going to step back into that downward facing dog. Pressing the heels into the mat, we're going to start that pedal. Finding that movement, that stretch. And And then we're going to step left foot to the right foot to the left, coming all the way back up to those hands. And then inhale as we slowly rise up one vertebrae at a time. We exhale as we drop those shoulders back, coming back into that standing position. Now we're going to face each other, coming widthwise on our mat again. We're going to open up those legs wide. We're going to come back to where we started into that goddess pose. So we're going to take those toes, angling them out. So those heels come into midline, the toes are pushing outward. We're going to reach down and we're going to get those weights. We're going to bend at the knees here. So bending at those knees, really pressing those knees back, meaning we don't want those knees to draw in. We don't want the knees to go over the toes, but bending through those knees, pressing them backwards. We're going to inhale as we press those arms up, straightening those legs. Exhale as we bend down into goddess. Inhale as we press up. Doing this a little more slowly this time. Exhale as we drop down into goddess. Inhale as we press up. Exhaling into goddess. Inhale as we press up. Exhale into goddess. Now we're going to punch right arm up, left arm up. Inhale as we rise. Exhale into goddess. Punch right, punch left. Inhale into straight. Exhale into goddess. We punch right, we punch left. We inhale as we straighten. We exhale into goddess. We punch right, we punch left. We inhale as we straighten that posture. We exhale into goddess. Final time we punch right, we punch left. We're going to take those weights, we're just going to drop them down. Right forearm to right knee. We extend that left arm over. Left forearm to left knee, right arm sweeps. Right forearm to right knee, left arm sweeps. Left forearm to left knee, right arm sweeps. Taking those hands back to those knees. We're going to drop that left shoulder down as we push those knees back. Right shoulder down, pressing the knees back. Left shoulder down, pressing the knees back. We're just moving a little slower now. Right shoulder forward, pressing the knees back. Left arm last time. Right shoulder last time. Straightening those legs as we rise up. We stack one vertebrae slowly on top of the other. Then we heel tie those legs back into that standing. We're done with those weights. So we're just going to drop them off to the side. Coming into that mountain pose. Those hands press forward, palms up. Pressing through all four corners of the feet here. We're going to feel those feet. Pressing those feet tightly into the mat. We're just going to close the eyes. We're going to breathe. We're going to start slowing it down just a little bit. Working down to that Shavasana time, that time of rest. We find that breath. We find that slowness. We just slow it down. Be so proud of yourself. These movements are not easy. Be so proud of the work that you've done today, moving your body. We have just a few more poses, a few more movements left. We're going to step back to the top of the mat. We're going to inhale as those hands go up. We're going to exhale as we forward fold, taking those hands into the mat. We're going to step back into that downward facing dog. Pressing the heels into the mat, pressing away from the fingertips. We're going to roll forward into plank. We chaturanga into that dog. We curl the toes. We lead with that tailbone, drawing the navel in. We find that down dog. We roll forward into plank. We chaturanga, up dog. Being very gentle with our bodies here. We curl those toes, drawing that navel in tightly, leading with that tailbone. We press into down dog. Now we're going to take that right leg. We're going to bring that right shin back forward into that pigeon. Resting those hips down on the mat. Then we're going to walk those hands out long. We're going to come into that reclining pigeon, or that rested pigeon here. Resting that head down, drop into the forearms. Making sure we're not collapsing into that right hip. Keeping that posture very upright. Resting that head down on the mat, taking those deep breaths. Whatever serves your body here. Finding that breath. Slowing it down. On the next inhale, we're going to walk those hands back upright. Walking those hands back up. We're going to curl that left toe. We're just going to find that plank here. So stepping that right leg back into plank, drawing that left shin forward. We set those hips down, then we walk those hands out long, dropping to those forearms. So dropping down to those forearms, dropping the head down to the mat. Maybe you can even walk those hands out long here. Whatever feels good for you, whatever serves your body here in this pigeon. We're just slowing it down here, finding that breath. Finding that deep breath here. Working down for that time of rest, that Shavasana time. We're closer and closer. We're going to inhale as we walk those hands back up. Now we're not even going to step back into plank this time. We're just going to bring that left knee back to meet that right knee, coming onto those hands and those knees. Now we're going to open up those knees under those hips just a little bit, not coming into that child's pose, but just opening just a little bit wider. We're going to walk those hands out long. We're going to find that puppy pose here. So we drop the chest down to the mat, pressing that tailbone high up into the sky, dropping that chest down, dropping that nose down to the mat or the chin. Stretching through the chest here, finding that puppy pose. Stretching the shoulders and the chest here. Finding that deep breath. Then rising back up onto those hands and those knees. So bringing those hands back under the shoulders. Now we're going to come into that seated position. You ladies are awesome. I'm so proud of each and every one of you for pushing through that workout. We're going to take those hands down to those knees. We're going to take that chin down to the chest. We're going to roll those shoulders down and away, straightening that spine. We want that straight spine, tailbone all the way up, lower back, mid back, through the shoulders, out the top of the head. We want that string pulling us upright. But we're going to drop that chin down to the chest here. Pressing those shoulders down and away, we roll the head halfway to the right. And then halfway to the left. I encourage you to open up your mouth here, rolling halfway to the right. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax that jaw. Rolling that head to the left. And then to the right. One more time to the left. And bringing that head upright. We're going to look over that right shoulder. Stretching through the left side of the neck, being very gentle with ourselves. Look over that left shoulder. One more time, we gaze over that right shoulder. And over that left shoulder. Bringing that head back upright, we go one big circle all the way around, whichever direction you choose. Changing that direction, move all the way around. Bringing that head upright, we inhale those shoulders up. We exhale, we drop them back. We inhale them up. We exhale, they drop them back, taking that right hand or right forearm down, that left arm sweeps. We're going to close that shoulder as we roll forward. And then open that shoulder as we roll back, leading with that shoulder here. We roll forward, we close it. We open it as we roll it back. One more time, we close that shoulder. And then we open that shoulder. Now pressing that left hand or forearm down, that right arm sweeps up. We roll that shoulder forward as we close it. And then we open it. We close it. And we open it. One more time, we close. And then we open. And bringing those hands back to those knees. We're going to lead from that navel here, leading from that core once again. Whichever direction you choose, you're just going to lead that navel, pressing it out. And then drawing it in. Pressing it out. Drawing it in. Massaging those hips, we press it out. Drawing it in. And then whenever it feels good for you, just change that direction. Just moving the opposite way, leading with that navel, we press it out. We draw it in. Pressing it out. Drawing it in. Pressing it out. Drawing it in. Now we're going to come into that butterfly. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Lifting up, getting really grounded through those seat bones. Here we're going to draw those feet in, reaching down for those toes, stretching through those inner thighs. This should feel so good after all those down dogs and three-legged dogs. Those hips should need this good stretch here. Finding that deep breath here. Finding that deep breath. Finding that slowness, slowing down that heart rate. We just take that deep breath in this butterfly. Opening through those hips, those hip flexors, those inner thighs. And then releasing this butterfly. Now we're going to come onto our backs now. Nosing onto our backs, rolling it all the way down. The first thing we always do, we draw the knees tightly into the chest, curling into that tiny little ball here. Drawing those knees tightly in, lifting that lower back and that tailbone up off the mat. Now we're going to move those hands over to that left knee. We're going to point that right toe. We're going to extend it out long. We're going to let it hover above the mat. So it just gently hovers above the mat here. We're going to flex that, but we're going to push that heel up towards the ceiling. If you need to take that right hand behind that right leg here, feel free to do so. Just stabilize that leg. Now we're going to take that hand to that outer leg, outer right leg. Now I'm a little close to the wall here, but we're going to let that leg fall open to the side, letting that hand guide it as much as, we're letting that hand guide it to keep it from opening too much. We let that right elbow rest on the mat here. So the goal is to keep that hip in line with that knee in line with that heel here. So keeping that good posture, the ankle stacked under the knee stacked under the hip, that foot is flexed. And then we release that knee, bringing that knee back in. Now we're going to move those hands over to that right knee. That left leg goes out with a pointed toe. We send all the energy out of that toe as we draw that right knee in. Just slowing it down here. We're going to flex that left foot, press that heel up towards the ceiling, taking that hand behind that left leg if we need to. Get a little bit of a shape going on after all that movement. Finding that breath here, finding that stretch. Not holding any tightness or pressure in those muscles. Allowing that breath to help those muscles relax. Then keeping that foot flexed, we're going to let it fall over and open to the side here. That elbow guides it. Just taking that stretch deeper into that inner thigh here. Finding that breath. Working our way down to that rest time, down to that Shavasana time. That time of reflection, that time of prayer, meditation. Whatever you choose to do at that time. Bringing that left knee back in. We're going to take right hand to right foot, left hand to left foot. Press the heels up. We find that happy baby. Stretching through those hamstrings. We draw those knees open away. Maybe we find that rocker, that sway here. Maybe we find that stillness. Whatever feels good for you. Whatever serves your body at this time. We're just stretching and releasing those muscles. Finding that breath. That gentle movement. Now we're going to release the soles of the feet down to the mat. Coming into our final stretch here, we're going to take that left leg, extending it long, resting that heel on the mat. We're going to take that left hand over to that right knee. We're going to drop that right hand down to the mat. We're going to pull that right knee across the body, coming into that supine twist. So rolling from that navel down, the shoulders are still firmly planted on the mat. We've left that right hand behind. Pulling from that navel over there, we're going to drop that head over to the right. So we're going to look in the opposite direction of that knee. Not looking toward that knee, but away, just finding that gentle twist. And releasing that right leg. Taking that right leg, extending it out long, rolling back very slowly. We bring that left leg in, right hand to left knee. We leave that left hand behind. We pull that knee across the body. We plant the shoulders on the mat. We gaze over to the left here. So looking away from that knee. So the head moves away from the right knee. That gentle twist here. Being very gentle with our body. Never forcing a twist. We're releasing that left leg back. Now we're going to open up those knees wide. We're going to put the soles of the feet together. We're going to come into that reclining butterfly here. So just letting those hips fall open and away for just a few moments. I want you to go ahead and close those eyes. We're just going to do a really quick short meditation today. But we're just going to open up those knees. We hold so much tension, so much pressure in those knees. We're just going to be very intentional for a moment just to release those legs completely. So that breath is deep here. Those knees fall open and away. That breath is deep. Bringing all that attention to the breath. Maybe if you want to place that right hand on your chest, the left hand on your abdomen as you're in that reclining butterfly. As you just find that breath, you connect with that breath, you feel your body rise and fall with every inhale, with every exhale. But just taking that deep breath here. This practice was based around the morning, that morning movement, getting up first thing in the morning, moving that body, walking through that day with purpose. So that's what we're going to talk about during this Shavasana time. How we start our day. The beginning of our day sets the tone for the day. How we choose to spend our time. Just taking a few more breaths here in this reclining butterfly. And then taking that deep inhale, breathing in all the air. The most air we've took in all practice. And then on that exhale, just wiggle around, find a comfortable place to rest, extending those legs out long. I want you to keep that hand on the heart and that right hand on the heart and that left hand on the abdomen there though. We're just going to focus on that breath for a minute. Really wiggle around, get comfortable here. This is your time. Maybe you grab a blanket, a pillow. Maybe you stick that pillow under those knees, propping those knees up. Whatever feels good. Just take a moment. This is your time to reflect and pray. So get very comfortable here. We're just going to close those eyes. We're going to turn the world away. We're going to turn it inward. Really taking that time for ourselves here, that time of self-care, of self-love. We're just going to take those breaths. We're going to make them deeper and deeper. Those inhales are longer. Those exhales are longer. Filling up those lungs and releasing that air. We're going to feel that chest and that abdomen rise and fall with every inhale and every exhale we take. Oh, we're so thankful for that breath. Thankful for each and every breath we take. That is such a gift. We feel that air as it enters the lungs. Sometimes people say they have a hard time meditating. They have a hard time focusing in. If your mind mind ever begins to wander, if it ever begins to drift away, just bring it back to that breath. Bring it back to the rise and the fall of the chest. Bring it back to that inhale and that exhale, just feeling gratitude, feeling so grateful for every breath that we take. Beginning each morning with a practice of gratitude. Being thankful for all of our blessings. We are so blessed. Even in this time of struggle, this time of difficulty, with everything chaotic that's going around in the world, we can find so many reasons that we are blessed. So many things that we can be thankful for. So just turn your mind to that for just a moment, to that gratitude. As we begin this morning, we begin this day, we set the tone for this day here. Just in this time of gratitude, in this time of thankfulness. Every morning we have a new opportunity. Every morning we have a new chance. And every morning we can begin again. I just love the freshness of the morning as the sun rises. Every day we have a chance to start over. Realizing that we were never stuck. We were never stuck in a mindset, in a perspective, in an attitude. Every morning, just as that day begins again, that sun rises, we have a chance to start over. That fresh start. We're so thankful for that fresh start every day. That opportunity to decide every day what our day will be like. Because we choose what attitude we have. There may be parts of that day that we don't look forward to, but we choose how we react. And we're just going to focus on that gratitude for just a moment. That job may be difficult, but we're so grateful for a place to work, a way to provide for our family. We may not enjoy cleaning the house, but we are so thankful for a place to live, a roof over our head. We look for the beauty in the everyday. We look for the beauty in the everyday. The sun as it rises, the birds as they begin to chirp, the breeze as it blows through the trees. We notice that beauty. We should love this day even more than yesterday. We're so thankful for the fresh opportunity we have each and every morning. For the freshness of each and every morning. How will you choose to spend this day? What attitude do you choose to walk in? What tone are you setting for your day? I pray that you are so blessed today, that you are filled with light, love, and positive energy. I pray that you take time for yourself, that you smile, that you look for the good and you embrace the joy, that you find joy in the most simple ways, that you find all the good around you, that you become aware of all the good around you, that you release negativity, that you release worry, and that you rest in Him and His goodness. God, we are so thankful for every morning. We are so thankful that you give us the opportunity to begin again. You have made us a new creation in you, fresh in you. We leave the old behind, and we leave yesterday behind. We can't go back. We operate from this moment forward. We walk in that gratitude. We walk in your love and your joy and your peace, God. We thank you for each morning, for each opportunity. I pray that you speak life-giving words to yourself and to everyone around you. pray that you see the good. I pray that your eyes and your ears be open to His words. That you see His work all around you. From the sun rising to the birds chirping, the wind blowing through the trees. You see His work all around you. We take that deep inhale. We feel fresh. We feel new. We feel ready. We feel ready for this day ahead. We choose to walk in that good attitude, that good perspective. We choose to walk in that joy. The joy comes in the morning. We breathe in that life. We breathe in that light and that positive energy. We draw that positive energy in. And we take those hands down to the mat. We press up as we come back into that seated position. Just coming into that easy pose once again. Maybe you find some movement here. Whatever serves your body, whatever feels good for you. Maybe you need a few more moments to sit in that stillness. If you do, feel free to do so. Just stay in that time of rest. Take that time for yourself. We take those hands by our side. We inhale as they go up. We bring those thumbs into the chest. We drop the head down. Ladies, be so proud of yourself today. Be so proud that you have found your mat, you have found your movement, you used your breath, you've moved your body. Be so proud of all that you have accomplished. Love on everyone around you and love on yourself too. Find the beauty in everyday life. Find the beauty in the morning, as that sets the tone for the rest of the day. Ladies, I pray that you are blessed, that you see all of those blessings around you, even in the chaos. You see the blessings. I pray that you have a beautiful and blessed day. Namaste.